the popular girls in 6th grade last year had told them they were flakes. That means we aren't afraid to be just who we are, the cornflakes had decided. So it only made sense that the movies they created from their amazingly intense daydreams were called Cornflakes Productions. But making a documentary about Great Marsh Middle School's Fall Festival for the new film club wasn't anything like making their own flicks, as Darby called them. Sophie sighed as she caught up to Darby, who was already setting up the shot, and Fiona, who was already munching on a corn dog. Willoughby's short mane of wavy, almost dark hair trembled as she let out a shriek that always sounded to Sophie like a poodle yipping. "Where have y'all been?" Willoughby said. "I've been waiting all day." She waved her arms in what Sophie figured was a new cheerleading routine. She'd been to enough cornflake sleepovers to know Willoughby did cheers in her sleep. "Be still, Willoughby," Darby said. "Sophie has to interview you." As Darby started filming, Willoughby snatched up a corn dog in each hand and shook them like pom-poms. 2 other cheerleaders posed beside her. "What's the cheerleading booth up to?" Sophie said. "We're selling corn dogs," they all shouted together. "Why?" Sophie said. "Because they're good," Willoughby said. "No, idiot," Darby said, using her Irish word for idiot. "What are you going to use the money for?" "It's a good thing Mr. Stiers has editing equipment back at school," Sophie thought. "To go to cheerleading camp this summer," they all screamed. "Thanks, girls," Fiona said, voice dry. "We'll call you if we can use you." "Okay," the squad cried out. "Willoughby's going to be great in our Liberty Lawhead film," Sophie thought. "She can lead the crowds of protesters in yelling, while the majestic Liberty Lawhead goes into battle for people whose rights are being tromped on. That was what made her a civil rights leader." "Beam yourself back down, Soph," Fiona said. "Let's hit the film club booth before all Signora's flan is gone." Sophie pulled herself out of the 1960s, where she'd spent a lot of dream time ever since they started studying the civil rights movement in English history block. When she got to the booth, Fiona was drooling over Signora Lakita's shiny squares of sweet flan. "I save you some, Fiona," the Signora said. Maggie's mom was from Cuba, and Sophie loved her special way of speaking English. Fiona pulled the plastic spoon out between her lips and closed her eyes. "It is muy bueno," she said. "That means very good," Maggie informed them. Maggie's words always fell like thuds, as if each one were a fact you couldn't argue with. With her steady dark eyes and solid squareness, the cornflakes usually didn't argue with her. Right now, Maggie nodded toward the camera, her black bob splashing against her cheeks. "Are you going to interview me?" she said. "I wish Kitty was here. She's better at this than me." Kitty was the 6th cornflake and Maggie's best friend. She had leukemia and was in the hospital in another town getting more chemotherapy, which, among other hard things, made her hair fall out. Sophie had shaved her head at the beginning of middle school, so Kitty wouldn't be the only bald girl. "I'm rolling," Darby said. "Tell us what the film club's up to here at the festival, Mags," Sophie said. Maggie looked stiffly into the camera. "We're selling flan." "What's flan?" Sophie said. "It's like pudding." There was a long pause. Fiona poked Sophie in the side. "Have you sold a lot to make money for film club supplies?" Sophie said. "We did," Maggie frowned, "until Colton Messick told everybody it was phlegm, not flan." "What's phlegm?" Sophie whispered to Fiona. "Stuff you have to cough up when you have a cold," Fiona said. "Ew!" Darby focused the camera on Miss Imes and their other sponsor, Mr. Stiers. Miss Imes, their math teacher, pointed her dark arrow eyebrows toward her straight, almost white hair.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.